I play hockey because it's all I've ever known. It's all I've ever wanted to do.
Honestly, it's the one constant besides my family and life that's always been there.
It's something that's given me structure in my life.
You just feel at home when you're on the ice.
I can get away from everything else when I'm on the ice, not thinking about anything else.
Hockey is the greatest sport in the world. Since day one that I stepped on that ice, I've always loved it.
Waking up every morning and knowing I have an opportunity to go to the rink and just play a game that I just love to play. It's what I want to do for as long as I can.
It's the most fun I have in my life. It really is.
One puck, 10 skaters, 2 goalies. Hockey is a game played at every level across the globe, from mites and juniors to NHL stars, and all skill levels in between. The Cincinnati Cyclones are currently preparing to begin the 2013-14 season, their 8th as a club since returning to ECHL play. As a member of the ECHL, the team has earned great success, winning the league's ultimate prize, the Kelly Cup, in 2008 and 2010. Last season, the team looked to continue this success with a deep playoff run and had a number of memorable moments.
I had the 2 overtime winners in playoffs. Both of those were pretty awesome. The Toledo one was, I've never had my legs more tired going down the ice, and then when I held up and I thought like my legs were just I was gonna give out, and somehow the rebound ended up on my stick. And then same thing with Reading. Shells just threw it to the net. Those are awesome. Nothing better than getting jumped on by the whole group of boys, and everyone's so happy that the game's over and that you won, you know?
Ultimately, the season came to an abrupt end after losing 4-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Reading Royals, the team that eventually took home the prize at the end of the year.
Obviously, we succeeded a lot, had a great record, did a lot of good things, both as a team and a lot of guys individually, but didn't accomplish that main goal. So I think that kind of stings for some guys and should sting for everyone, and I think that's going to really help motivate us going throughout the year.
Obviously not the way we wanted to end, but I thought we had a great year, and everybody's ready to get back to that level again.
The stale taste in your mouth, it's just that. I mean, you can't really get rid of it until you get back into the swing of things. And I mean, there's always that point in the summer anyway where you're itching to get back into hockey, and you know, honestly, that started way early, like probably a week or 2 after the season ended, just because you knew that you should still be playing, and you know, just to see the way the series ended up, and to see Reading go on and win it, you know, I don't think there's a guy on this team or in this organization that didn't feel that should have been us.
This past offseason, head coach Jared Scaldi was offered a job in the American Hockey League, leaving an opening for Ohio native Ben Simon.
Once the job was available, I called the former coach, Jared Scaldi, and I played with Jared for 3 years and still kept in touch with him. And the coach before Jared was Chuck Weber, who I played for in Orlando. So both those guys spoke very highly of the organization and the people that run the entire building, from the ushers to the owner.
And we'll start from the other side.
My first year in Sheffield as a player coach, and so I really learned time management skills there, because there's a lot of similarities between that job and this job, and you're doing the same thing: player housing, cars, marketing, you're doing everything. Coming in here, I knew that, but on top of that I was playing as well, so this is a little different. I don't have to play anymore, which a lot of people would say it's a blessing.
I played here from 2006, 2007. I left in 2008, 2009 was my last one. So I played here for 3 years, up and down a couple times in the American League, and that was it. Last year it took a little bit getting used to not being out there playing. You all have those times where you want to get out there and you want to be part of the game, but you try not to get as emotionally involved as you can as a player. You got to be the guy in behind the players, the guy on the bench that keeps everything cool and collective, and that forms into that roller coaster. You got to keep everybody on the same page and everybody at that even keel. That's one thing that I definitely have learned and have tried to adapt to coming into this year, is to keep even keeled and try not to get the emotions too high or too low.
My older brother played hockey, so I just wanted to be like my big brother and followed in his footsteps and just kind of fell in love with the game. As a player, I wasn't the most talented guy. I mean, I had a little bit of skill, but I survived on work, and I had to compete and work hard just to keep my job. So that's one thing I always prided myself on, was my compete level and working hard. I never would have guessed when I was 20 years old that I'd be doing this. When I was 20 at school, I wanted to play hockey, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of the game. And then when I was done playing, I didn't want to let go. And I thought, the last probably 4 or 5 years of my playing career, I was an older guy, a vet guy who helped the younger guys develop, and I came to work every day and competed hard, and I just really studied the game. So that the progression to coaching really just kind of came naturally for me. Hockey's hockey, and there's just a few other responsibilities.
If they dump it in, this guy, because you're momentum, you may very well be that first forward low, right? It's not always the centerman. If you're on his and you're the first forward back, you're essentially the center down low. Okay, so a breakout, jack it to the D, back to the D. You guys are trying to regroup. You guys get into our neutral zone forecheck. Everyone else on the bench. Talk too, boys. Talk, talk, talk.
Simon and McDonald have the task of shaping the Cyclones into a team that drops the puck on its regular season opener, October the 19th. The first big step in creating the roster came last week with 2 preseason games played in Anchorage, Alaska against the Aces.
Last week was kind of a mess. Long trip to Alaska. I'm going to be honest, I don't think anybody really wants to make that trip. It was good for me, though. It was good to get on the road with the guys and really get to hang out with all the guys, not just a couple of the guys that live next to you in the apartments.
Anytime you get a group of guys on the road, you're on the road together and you're creating an atmosphere where you're kind of forced to bond and you get to know each other, and the guys, I think, did that.
Guys were pretty tired, but all in all, I mean, I think we got what we needed out of the week. You know, winning game 1. Game 2 didn't go our way, but you know, we still took a lot of positives out of that, and you know, coming back this week ready to work.
I wish we would have got to, you know, do a little more as far as touring, but we were able to walk around the city at least. We went to the Bay, checked it out.
It was a good trip. It was pretty quick. I mean, we feel like we just got out there by the time we were ready to leave. So it was a great experience. It's great to play a couple preseason games and start to implement our systems and just work on game situation stuff.
You want to get the systems in place and use them as building blocks. And I'm excited to get this week done with. I'm excited to play some games, really see how the pace goes, and just see what we're made of this year.
With 1 week to go before the first face-off, everyone realizes there's lots of work to do.
We have an unbelievable group of guys. We bring a lot of different aspects. We have some fast, skilled guys, and we have a little bit of hard-nosed, physical players.
Every day you go into it, you just want to work hard and do your best on the ice. And right now we're trying to work on getting familiarity, getting some camaraderie with other your line mates, but still in the same thing with a lot of guys. So still decisions need to be made, and guys are going to filter in and out of the lineup, power play. There's a lot of things you still have to work for to make sure you have a chance to succeed during the regular season.
I think it all comes down to work. I mean, there's a certain way we play here. Benny has tried to instill that in us. You know, we've only been here a week, but as long as everybody buys in and comes to work every day, I think we're going to be fine. We have a good core group of guys back from last year, and the new additions this year, I think we've improved upon our team from last year. So as long as guys come to work every day, I think we're going to be just fine.
I think we just got to play within ourselves. We have a great group of guys with a lot of skill, and it just comes down to doing the little things right and being really consistent. That's the hardest part all year, is to be consistent, and if we can do that, we should put ourselves in a good spot.
Last year, you know, I think I would have a couple games where I was really good and improving every game, and then, you know, maybe have an off night, and it would take me a couple games to, you know, get back into the swing of things. And so for me individually, I think it's just coming with, you know, the professionalism and really, you know, focusing on being consistent, you know, not just every period, but every shift.
Shoot the puck. Probably get 50 texts from my dad a week. Shoot the puck. We got to cycle the puck, work on some in-zone plays. You got to go into the hard areas and make sure you're getting to the net. That's where the puck's always going to be. So if you want to score, you got to get there.
I think we'll try and get line combinations down and see who's meshing and who plays well with other guys. And I think it's just a matter of hammering home a few things offensively and especially defensive zone coverage, and focus on special teams a lot. So we'll really focus on those moving forward this week and get ready for Saturday.
Most of the roster moves have already been made, but the team still has some tough decisions to make. They began training camp with 28 players, but we'll have to get that total down to 23 by October the 17th.
We've got a ton of guys from our affiliates, and we brought a few guys in from just on East Coast League contracts, and you know, we're going to put the best product on the ice.
It's not only preparing for the games and practices, but you also kind of got to see what's going to happen in the future if you can. And that's just seeing, okay, possibly this guy might be sent down or this guy might be called up.
Sometimes we are assigned players, and sometimes that leads to having to let go of some quality people and quality guys. That is frustrating at times, but that's the nature of the game, and sometimes it is cutthroat and it is unfortunate, but there is also a business side of this game.
It's not something you can really afford to think about. You just go into each day, bring, you know, your lunchbox, if you will, and go to work. I mean, there's plenty of bodies in general here, let alone American League guys, so especially with a new coach, you always have to, you know, go out and prove yourself and earn a spot on the team. This is my 6th year playing pro now. I've taken that same approach every year.
It's not really my decision on who gets cut and who stays. You know, I just got to control what you can control, and that's the effort that I bring every single day, and what I do on the ice. So that's just what you got to focus on, and everything else will unfold how it should.
It's something you really can't think about anyway, because I mean, if you're worrying about a numbers game, then you're probably not going to be on your game on the ice, and things aren't going to go your way. So you just got to kind of keep a level head and go out and work.
All these guys have worked tremendously hard the last week that we've been here, but at the end of the day, you have to go with the better hockey player. They're tough decisions because we have a lot of quality people and a lot of quality players.
Everything about Cincy, the fans, the arena, facilities, the staff is pretty much top-notch here for this level of hockey, so I definitely consider it an honor to be here.
That's awesome. It's a great city, great organization.
All the guys feel a lot of pride and are really happy to be playing here.
After this last year, I didn't know what was going to happen with contracts, but I remember telling my parents, telling my agent, if there was one place that I wanted to come back to is Cincinnati. It's an unbelievable town. The fans are unbelievably supportive.
This is my first East Coast city, but from talking to other guys, there can't be many better spots than this.
This organization is unbelievable. There's great organizations throughout the league, but I think we got to be the best one, or if not the top couple. And I love it here. It's treated me great, and I think that's why a lot of players come and we are successful.
I'm excited to get here and play a game in front of the fans and see what it's like.
This league's a lot better than a lot of people give it credit for, especially guys coming back from Europe or the guys that get sent down and everything. They realize it's not as easy as you think, especially last year with the lockout. It was a real deep league, and after the lockout, many things didn't change. So it's a good league, it's a good city, and I love playing for this team.
We have a big group back from last year of players, so it's been great seeing all the guys again and getting back to work. It's like we weren't even apart.
We got a strong core of guys returning, a lot of guys that played big roles in our playoff run last year, and also by the looks of it, we got some new guys coming in that got a lot to prove, and they're excited to chip in as well.
I feel like we have some unfinished business for sure. We left last season, not the way we wanted. Wish we got the Kelly Cup.
Everyone, for the most part, being pretty familiar with one another, that helps and starts things off on the right foot.
You don't reach this level of hockey without years of practice, and the Cincinnati Cyclones players are no different.
I started skating when I was 4 and started playing hockey when I was 5. Actually, my parents made me do figure skating before they'd give me a stick, so I don't know if that benefited me or not. The other guys, I'm sure they don't know that yet, but I'd say I'm a decent skater, so I think it worked.
I've been playing hockey since I was 2.5 was the first time I put on a pair of skates.
Since as long as I can ever remember, I've been playing hockey, watching my dad play hockey, and it's been a constant in my life ever since I can remember.
Teachers used to laugh at me when I was younger when they asked me what I want to do, and I'm older, and I say I want to be a hockey player, but it's what I've always wanted to do. I've made a ton of sacrifices in order to try to do that, both from a hockey standpoint, where I'm living, friends, family, decisions that I've had to make. So it's been a part of my life, since as long as I can remember.
I kind of pride myself in being pretty versatile. Last year I played every different role but goalie on the team. There's a couple new challenges in there, but that's always fun to deal with, something new, kind of a change of pace.
I guess I've always just had a pass-first mentality. Even when I was little, I'd rather set somebody up than score the goal. So I've always taken pride in that and just like trying to get assists. I mean, I don't mind scoring either, but I like setting people up.
Definitely not size. Don't bring size to the team. Probably just a two-way playing ability. I think my defensive game is pretty good, for my size, and I definitely think my offensive ability will help us out on the power play as well.
I'm pretty annoying to play against, I'd say. I don't know. Goal scoring, making plays, I guess, but it always doesn't happen that way, so you got to do the little things, just getting pucks out, finishing checks, and being hard to play against.
As the Cincinnati Cyclones close in on the start of the regular season, the team spends every day at US Bank Arena working on drills and techniques that will help them make another Kelly Cup run.
D will be behind the net. We'll put the D on the right side here. Centerman, you can either swing behind or low, doesn't matter, but I want you generating speed, get nice and deep. With our team speed, we should be able to generate a lot of speed here in attack. Our other forward will come through nice and low here. You might be an option here, or you just come back, generate speed again. Come deep so you can get your feet moving and generate speed. On the other side, if they do set up behind the net, we're just gonna kind of F1, your job is cut the ice in half.
Assignment systems, we're getting in place now. We practiced some today, and I'm sure the next 4 days or 3 days we'll be cramming it, and then Friday before the game will probably be just a walkthrough of everything, and then put it in place Saturday and hope it goes well.
Right now it's just about systems and at the same time getting guys in shape.
Just getting the little things down and getting comfortable with your line mates and just making sure that we're ready to go when we drop the puck for our first game.
Ben is a lot more, you can tell he's had been in the American League from my stints going up and everything. You tell a lot of structure, a lot of the meetings he's got his to-do points, things we got to hit out in practice, and everything's real structured. So it's real organized and everything, but so far too, he likes to have fun, and as long as you work hard, he seems like a coach who's going to be always going to have your back.
We got new drills and new stuff, so we're just learning from him right now, and it's been all positive, and I think all the guys like him a lot.
He knows that there's a line between being buddies with the guys and you know, coming down to business, and he's got a plan, and I think things are going to go great.
You can never really emulate the first real game. Preseason games are what they are, you know. You get your timing down, you get your little chemistry going, but you know, the first game, it's an all-out battle. So I think this week, you know, the pace will pick up, the grittiness picks up a little, the guys starting getting a little more physical and a little meaner out there, and it's good for us.
Today was a pretty good practice. Tomorrow I expect more of the same with only having the one game this week. Plenty of work to be done leading up to the home opener, and I'm sure we're going to do just that.
We'll let you know, D, jump in there about halfway through.
Typical days up and at 'em early. Usually Mac and I like to try and get everything done ahead of time the day before, so we'll come in and just make sure we're on the same plan for practice.
You know, it's just a collaboration of what we think we need to see, what we need to build off of, and between me and Ben, we just come together and we put our however many X amount of drills together, and what are we learning, what are we teaching today, and what are we trying to get our players to learn. As for training camp, we have breakfast here, and then we'll usually do some sort of meeting with the coaching staff, then go out there and explain what we got to do for practice today. And then that's it. We go on the ice, we do our practice, guys will have lunch, potentially a workout.
If the guys have had a day off previously, those drills the next day are going to be a little bit more battle drills, one-on-one, and get the tempo up pace. And if it's a day before a game, you're probably not going to be as intense. You're going to be a little bit more system-oriented to make sure everyone's on the same page.
It's been kind of interesting so far this year. Last year, from start to finish, we pretty much did the same drills day in, day out. And you know, obviously with Benny being new here, he's bringing a whole new gamut of drills.
I got a lot of favorite drills. I mean, you have so many drills you've learned over the years as a player from other coaches and stuff like that, that you know, you just have your book and your Bible of drills.
Favorite drill would definitely be something where it's about a one-on-one rush, and I'm able to cheat and get up into the rush after, like a 2-on-2, and you're always playing for the whistle to head back the other direction on offense. So I'm sure the forwards don't like that, but I'm a big fan of that.
The 2-on-1 drills, just because for a forward it's fun to make plays around the D, and I know the D hate it, probably the goalies too.
3-on-2 continuous, any of the game stuff, it's realistic. 2-on-1s in pregame, I don't know, the breakouts and regroups and stuff, they get pretty boring. All the battle drills are kind of tough.
Getting a little bit older, so the whole stops and starts thing, I try to avoid if I can, but obviously that's part of the game too.
As a coach, you realize that now there is a method behind the madness and why you're doing those drills. It's not just doing a drill to do a drill. There's always a reason behind it.
Exactly 1 week before first face-off, the Cyclones opened their doors at US Bank Arena, allowing their season ticket holders an exclusive first look at the 2013-14 club.
Things are going pretty well so far. Alaska trip is in the books now. Had a couple good games up there and back home and ready to get back to work.
Certainly a busy week ahead. Tell me what's going on the next handful of days that fans may not be able to see between now and next Saturday.
Just a lot of work. You know, we're gonna get our systems ready and get ready to go and be ready for Saturday night.
Today was a little bit catered for the fans, and obviously we're very appreciative of their support. And you know, without them, obviously we don't have jobs. So we tweaked a few things for a little 4-on-4, a little fun, a couple little races, so some people can see a little compete level in the guys, and again, some one-on-one battles. But we also got some structure done with some line rushes for, line rushes against, and some 3-on-2s.
Both McDonald and Simon took part in the team's shootout, with similar results.
Blame it on the ice, and I feel like maybe my tape job wasn't quite where it should have been, but I went down, I saw top corner, I missed it by about 3 feet. So I can't say that was the best move I've ever done, but that might be one reason why I've never done a shootout in pro hockey.
I wasn't expecting Matt to put me on the spot there, so it's all right. I put him on the spot and he threw me right under the bus.
Oh, mine is much better.
I love the speed of it all. A lot of football, you stop, you just hike the ball, you go. Baseball, you got to wait between pitches. Even basketball to some degree, but hockey seems to keep going. And I think what I enjoy watching most is the skill of the players. A guy comes out of the penalty box and he's shooting down the ice to intercept the puck or something. And it's amazing to me to see the talent that these guys can do. Some people can't do walking on the ground, they're doing it on the ice.
As the preseason enters its final week, the Cyclones can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm just looking forward to playing hockey, from the front office to the equipment managers to the players to the coaches. I mean, we all work hard to put the product out on the ice, and I think for everyone to see it actually in action and have the plan executed, from behind the scenes to on the ice, I think it's a big night for everyone.
There's nothing better than getting to the games and getting in the swing of the season. And
we've been in camp now for, I don't know, 2 weeks maybe, and from day one everybody just wants to jump right into it. I mean, 2 exhibition games were nice to get into, but at the end of the day you want to be playing real games.
Anxious, definitely anxious. I'm worried about what I'm going to feel like Saturday before puck drop. Probably a little sick to the stomach.
Our home crowd, doesn't matter how many people are here, it's always loud and gives the group a little bit of extra energy, so it's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday.
The one thing about I love is the Cincinnati fans. We're going to have a ton here, and I know everybody's going to be amped up, and there'll be a loud atmosphere, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to see the fans. I'm excited to see what we get in the building, and I'm excited to see what the team is made of. I think from what the guys have said, this is going to be a better team than we had here last year. I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm expecting the rest of the boys to be feeling the same way, so I'm excited to see what we can do.
We've worked so hard this summer to try and get our game plan together and institute what we want to do and putting our team together and recruiting players and just to see everything come to fruition on opening night and just get into our hockey season.
Next time on Cincinnati Cyclones Making the Cut.
I played goalie when I was little a few times. I will also add that I'm scared of the puck when I played goalie.
In order to hit Darling in the head, you got to really shoot it high.
Oh, least favorite person on the team, Mbach. He might be one of my favorites, but he's one of my least favorites at the same time. So, and you can put that on camera. He doesn't even care.
Why is that?
He's the coach. He's the coach. It's his world. I'm living in it.